Hello, I'm Barbara Bryan, and I've come to Heartbeat Studio to speak to the owner, David Valentine. I'd like to ask you how the studio came about.
It was 1982 the studio actually came into existence, mainly to get the band I was in at the time, RAF, another recording contract. We felt it would be a lot cheaper to put some of the money we still had left to try and get another record deal. We put all the analogue gear in, tape machines and mixing desk. We were on the road.
You mentioned analogue, and of course technology has really advanced, of course, since 1982. So, but do you still have analogue? Because quite a few people still really enjoy working with analogue because it's got a purity of sound. Some people say it's preferable to digital.
Kids nowadays are used to the digitised sound, but when you revisit tapes, we've been archiving some tapes recently, the multi-track stuff and masters, and putting them on computer, and it's still a very nice mellow kind of sound on analogue, and we still retain our multi-track recorder and mastering machines just in case any young bands feel they want to do some retro recording.
But you obviously still have digital equipment as well, though, of course, don't you?
We now work on hard disk recorders, and I like hard disk recorders because it's like using a tape machine. You know, stop, play, record. I'm just an old-fashioned guy. I still like steam recording, and that's one of our specialities in the studio, is doing bands. I still enjoy miking up a drum kit, all the old-fashioned things. We do use computers. My assistant Ed, he is a computer man. We basically use it as a tool to put sounds onto and edit them and enhance them, and then we put them back onto the hard disk. And I still mix the old-fashioned way with the faders and the things on either side of my head, ears. At the end of the day, it always works best for me, and that's the way we work here. I still enjoy doing bands.
So, if for instance I was a musician and I had an idea for a song, or I'd made a very sort of quick demo, what would be a process? And if I came along to you, how could you possibly help me?
Well, we would bring you in, discuss the song or project you had in mind, and how we could embellish your original idea. In the past, we have taken very basic demo recordings, and in fact even somebody came in having spoken the lyrics of a song onto a dictaphone, and eventually became a Eurovision entry. So we can take the song from the very basic idea and play all the instruments if required, or bring in session players if required, if a sax is required, and basically take the thing from demo to the finished article.
Of course, you're a songwriter yourself, and you're a multi-talented person, and you specialise in keyboards, don't you?
Keyboard's my main instrument. I play a little bit of guitar as well, but mainly write on, or did in the past anyway, most of the songs were written on keyboards, so that's still my main instrument. We still have all the keyboards here, and they're for use for any clients that want to come in. I'll either play it or they can play themselves. So we have a complete backline here in the studio. I've guitars and synths and modules to be used to embellish the client's original songs.
You've been in the music industry for some time now, so you have the ability to, aid the enhancement of a tune, I think, haven't you?
You mean the construction of a song and cutting out all the dead wood? Because it isn't rocket science. Pop songs, they normally have a set kind of format. It's only classical music you can get into the realms of different kinds of arrangements and odd discords. And probably in the 40 to 50 years that pop music been in existence, I think we've heard all the chord sequences that are pleasant to the ear. So it's just a question of putting it in the pot and choosing an arrangement or a chord sequence of things that are pleasant to the ear, and something that will enhance the idea of the song. So we've done a lot of that in the past. People that play very basic guitar or piano, and we'll take it right through to a finished master.
So thinking about costs, I mean, if you've got all these professional musicians who can do it either in one take or two takes, that obviously minimises the costs for any particular
Indeed,
client,
yes,
or any potential client. So, what kind of costs are we talking about if someone, like myself for instance, came off the street and wanted a track produced?
Well, initially we'd bring you in, have a listen to the song. I normally don't charge for a listen through and just a chat, cup of coffee and have a look, see at the studio. That's fair enough. But when we start working, our charge is £35 an hour. If people are working for 2 or 3 days, the cost comes down a bit. So that's the kind of rough costing for working here at Heartbeat.
That seems very reasonable. And you've got a pretty big sized studio as well.
The studio is large enough to house a full band. We've had several pipe bands in, 6 drums, side drums, 8 pipers. It's a hell of a noise, but we can accommodate that size of ensemble. We've had bands like Nazareth, full band and with all their equipment, rehearsing before an American tour. We also had Camel in the early days because they had 3 Scots guys in the band. It was convenient for them to rehearse here. So the playing area is a comfortable size, and the control room is larger than most. Quite a few studios are basically cupboards, and they're not the most comfortable places to work in for any length of time. So if you're going to be in for a few hours, you need a bit of space, and we have got space here, and we have a nice restroom downstairs which has been recently built to accommodate those who shouldn't actually be involved when somebody's singing or playing. Pack them off downstairs.
David, thank you very much indeed for speaking to me. It's been very nice meeting you, and I wish you continued success with Heartbeat Studios.
Thank you very much indeed, Barbara. It's very nice to meet you again after all these years and work with such a professional sounding perhaps.